But I do want to ask you this because there's no way that I'm gonna let you say, "Oh, when I worked at El Bulli," and then like we're not gonna talk about because I didn't know that. What was that like?
So I went to El Bulli in 98 and then back in 2000. So I did 2 stints there as a stagiaire.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking for the next way of thinking and presenting and working with food. And that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, full on. So when I was there for like the summer season because that was the only time they were open. It was the summer season. And you would learn, it was so cool, man. You would learn like 10 new things every day. Like how often can you say that you learned 10 pretty substantial, cool things yesterday or today?
Right. Every day.
Every day. And this was before cell phones, so you weren't taking pictures.
Yeah.
And they didn't really want us taking notes. So you'd go run over in a corner and you'd like scribble. You could barely even read it on a little pad. And after work, you go home at night after your like 15-hour shift. You go home at night after we all went to the bar together because it was just this camaraderie in that kitchen. We'd all go out for like a drink and some tapas at 1 a.m. And then we'd go home and get a couple hours sleep and wake up and be back to work by like 8:30.
So this is like at kind of like peak El Bulli.
This was peak El Bulli.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is when I got there, they were really starting to getting hammered with magazines and like the full exposure was full on. So, and then it just carried for the next years until they closed. So I was there kind of, I don't know if I was there I was on the earlier side of the explosion.
Yeah.
But they had already exploded.
Yeah.
And I really loved the way that the chefs were there too. Like they would tell you something once, they'd tell you again. Third time they might yell at you because you deserved it.
Right.
Come on, retain it. But they wanted you to be. They worked with you. It was like a compassionate kitchen. Like it wasn't like I would hear rumors or stories from my stage friends, like who went because a lot of them were from Spain, of course, and they would do their stages in France. And, like it was just brutal, man.
Right.
Like it was just brutal. It was like terrorizing you. And I didn't feel that way at LB. It was a really nice feel there, and you learned a lot.
Who was there when you were there? Because I'm assuming that so many greats went through that kitchen.
There was only 2 Americans when I was there.
Okay.
It was me. I think his name was David Cruz. This was a long time ago. I don't know if he's chefing anymore or not. But no one else came. One guy, I can't remember his name. He's still chefing. He used to be at Patina in LA.
Okay, yeah.
He was the chef under what was his name?
I'm drawing a blank.
Joachim Spicala.
Yes.
So he was under him. He was like his executive sous or chef de cuisine. He was there for like a week with me, but then he left. Like he just came in for a quick stint. But like Grant wasn't there when I was there, and these other big names. Yeah. It was just really the two of us.
Like everyone went through there. Like a lot of the greats, the Roca brothers, all those guys.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and Renee went through there, and Jose Andrés, who we all know.
Yeah.
Would come, like we would have like days down at the laboratory at the atelier in Barcelona, and we would go down like a little field trip sort of. It was like an hour and a half away or something, but you can't. I didn't understand. Like we didn't understand. The language barrier was too much when it came into speaking on that level and like philosophy of what they're doing. So Jose Andrés would step in and like translate for us.
Oh, that's cool.
This is before I even knew who Jose Andrés was.
Yeah, he was just a pup.
I think he was just minibar at the time. Like
Wow.
he hadn't blown up in the States yet. He had just moved to the States.
Wow.
So that was really cool, and that was a lot of fun having him around. So anyway, I got
what was I'm assuming Ferran, Albert, they're there all the time.
Albert was down in Barcelona. Albert and Oriol Castro were in Barcelona in the test kitchen all the time. They would come up and introduce new dishes to us and stick around for a day or two and get it dialed in. Yeah. And then they'd go back. Ferran was there. You never didn't see Ferran. He was there from before you got to work until after you left work.
Wow.
And our shift was like 9 to midnight.
So you said something that piqued my interest. You said we were learning 10 new techniques a day. I'm assuming a lot of these are no longer hidden. We probably know them now. But what were some of the techniques back then that was like...
I mean, I was there when the hot foams came on.
Yeah.
And the ISI foams. I was there when the hot gelatins came on, like first. So the agar-agar gelatin.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even just those kind of things, but it was like how to properly wrap a thin sheet of gelatin around fish roe to emulate the fish roe sack.
Yeah.
Like putting it back into its place of nature, sort of.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of little things like that. Now, don't forget, too, this was 25 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what I
Yeah,
did
no.
back then.
I used to have the El Bulli set, the ones that came with the DVD.
I know, and that
Or
was
that, yeah, see,
no. I'm so bummed that they did that because my DVDs are all scratched and ruined, and then my computer, the software got updated, and it wouldn't read those DVDs anymore. So I don't have those recipes anymore. I just have the pictures.
my books got stolen from my office.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I don't have them. And they were like $300 books back then.
Well, you know what they're worth today?
I have no idea.
I mean, I can't believe what cookbooks are going for today.
Yeah, I've seen some
Like
pricey
I've
ones.
got the what's Ben Shuri's restaurant in Melbourne, Attica.
Yeah,
So I have his book.
Yeah.
And then I just saw, maybe it was like on social media, someone was like trying to sell their Attica book for like $1,200.
Yeah.
And so that piqued my interest. So then I Googled it because I have the original LBE book.
Mm-hmm.
I got like 2 of them when I was there. And so I looked that up, and I don't remember what the price was, but it was like over $1,000.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
75 at the time
it's wild. Yeah, they're extremely pricey.
because they only made a certain amount of production.
Yep.
They don't have, they're no more out
And you
there.
never know when it's going to really take off or a restaurant's
Yeah.
really going to explode and everybody knows who it is. And then you're like, oh, I've worked there before.
Yeah.
You know, I was part of that success. Do you guys have chefs that you've cycled through?
What do you mean?
As far as like you were saying at Elbow, like people would stage. Do you have chefs in your kitchen that you are training to become
Well, I have-
executive chefs themselves
Yeah, I
and
mean,
move along?